Hello everyone, today in this video we are going to show you top 10 giant facts about the dwarf planets. Hope you enjoy this video, and don't forget to hit the like button, and subscribe us for more amazing things. Let's move on to the topic. It's a little world, all things considered. That was the end reached at an August 2006 gathering of the International Astronomical Union. And keeping in mind that only 424 of a qualified 9,000 democratic individuals took an interest, it added up to a planetary ousting notice for Pluto. Yet, the gathering accomplished more than decrease the nearby planetary group from 9 undeniable planets to 8. It too made an altogether new characterization of divine bodies. We should investigate our close planetary system's 5 little wonders, the dwarf planets. Fact number 10, Ceres. So nice they classified it twice. In spite of being the littlest of the 5 bantam planets, Ceres was the first found. The explanation is that Ceres, situated in the asteroid belt among Jupiter and Mars, is by a long shot the nearest. So despite the fact that it's the dwarfiest overshadow, Sicilian stargazer Giuseppe Piazzi seen it back in 1801, more than a century before Pluto made its planetary presence known. Considering Ceres a planet, even of the bantam assortment, appears to be liberal. At just 950 kilometers in breadth, its mass is simply 0.015% of Earth's and multiple times not as much as Pluto. Truth be told, Ceres is tiny to the point that it's additionally named a space rock. However, with all due respect, it is the biggest space rock in the nearby planetary group. Ceres is a rock among relative stones. It contains a full quarter of the asteroid belt's complete mass. Also, in contrast to its neighbors, has an almost round body and likely has water ice underneath its covering. Supporting this declaration, in 2014 the European Space Agency's Herschel Space Observatory identified water fume heaving from 2 unique territories of Ceres, conceivably from ice volcanoes, which is really amazing. Ceres is unmistakable enough from its environmental factors that it was offered bantam planet status in 2006. It is named for the Roman goddess of harvests, which is likewise how breakfast cereal got its name. Fact number 9, Mission to Ceres, a trip back in time. Ceres is a still unblemished survivor from the soonest days of the nearby planetary group, some 4.6 billion years back, so considering its qualities give disclosures into the close planetary system's fundamental structure blocks. In 2007, NASA dispatched a driven mission to extensively plan Ceres and Vesta, the following biggest article in the asteroid belt, by putting a rocket in circle around it. Named the Dawn mission to pay tribute to its starting point's driven goals, the shuttle arrived at Ceres in March 2015. The intel accumulated demonstrates Ceres probably framed farther from the Sun and moved into the inward sunlight-based framework. This declaration was drawn on the grounds that Ceres' surface synthesis incorporates a lot of consolidated smelling salts, which requires the external close planetary system's colder temperatures to shape. The mission additionally found a wealth of water, incorporating a rough mantle with water-rich rocks, for example, muds, and an cold external shell. Researchers were especially captivated by Ceres organics, the structure squares of life. A particular carbon-hydrogen chain of organics was found in perhaps the most profound hole, proposing the material at first shaped in its once profound sea. Adding to the fervor is proof that Ceres was topographically dynamic generally as of late. This is upheld by its sparkling cluster of in excess of 300 splendid highlights, called faculae, that glimmer on an in any case dim scene. The most splendid of these contains the biggest store of carbonate minerals ever seen outside Earth. This recommends briny water rose to Ceres' surface in the recent past and deposited salts, an indication of a healthy, living planetoid. Fact number 8, Eris, a misjudged nail in Pluto's grave. One reason Pluto got downgraded in 2006 was the revelation of Eris a year sooner. Right up till the present time, the two actually don't talk. At the point when stargazers discovered Eris in January 2005, it was at first articulated the biggest Earth yet. Its measurement was assessed at 2,300 to 2,400 kilometers, making it 27% more gigantic than Pluto. This incited the International Astronomical Union, IAU, to rethink its meaning of a planet, the primary negative mark in Pluto's slackening handle on full planethood. The issue is, indeed, they were simply unacceptable. Further perception proposed that Eris is entirely more modest than Pluto. Lamentably, this wasn't understood until 2010, 4 years after Pluto got the boot. Oh. Luckily, sheer mass wasn't the prime explanation. Pluto was minimized, more on that later. Back to Eris, which has a wild streak to it. For one, its circle is extremely inconsistent, crossing Pluto's and almost converging Neptune's in a crackpot, oval-formed excursion that takes Eris and its moon, Dysnomia, 557 a long time to circle the Sun, more than twice the length it takes Pluto. In doing as such, Eris plunges all through the Kuiper belt, a band of generally space rock estimated bodies past Neptune involved by each Bantam planet but Ceres. The outside of Eris probably comprises of nitrogen and methane scattered in a very flimsy, 1 mm layer. A few researchers imagine that what we see as Eris' surface really is its dense climate, which possibly ventures into gas when the planetoid is nearer to the Sun. Fact number 7, is there the 10th planet? The first passage talks about how Eris' disclosure prompted a re-evaluation of how planets were grouped, beginning Pluto's year-long slide to downgrade. However, that result wasn't unavoidable. Another unmistakable chance was adding Eris as the nearby planetary group's 10th undeniable planet. Tragically for Pluto, the discussion plunged into the IAU revising its meaning of a full planet, and one rules: the capacity of a heavenly body to clear its environmental factors through gravitational predominance, was met by neither Eris nor Pluto. Consequently, on August 26, 2006, Pluto was downgraded and another assignment, dwarf planet, made. Alongside Pluto, Eris, and Ceres were given this order too, with many naming Eris the first dwarf since its disclosure drove straightforwardly to this predefined classification. Truth be told, Eris' troublesome behavior is embraced in its very name. When at first found in 2005, it was informally called Xena. In any case, given its troublesome effect on both the IAU and third-grade science projects, the planetoid was renamed to respect the Greek goddess of dissension. Eris works up desire and jealousy to cause battling and outrage among men, clarifies Mike Brown, an educator of planetary stargazing at the California Institute of Technology. As legend has it, subsequent to being censured for a wedding greeting, Eris resentfully began a disagreement among goddesses that prompted the Trojan War. She's a serious fun goddess, truly, Brown adds. Pluto might use a different adjective. Fact number 6, the potato-shaped dwarf. Another Kuiper belt local is Haumea, whose champion trademark is its particular leveled shape. This is on the grounds that Haumea is one of the quickest pivoting enormous items in the closed planetary system, and the power produced by this turn mutilates the planetoid into an elongated potato shape looking like more an American football than an European one. The days fly by on Haumea, which finishes a full turn at regular intervals. That is incredibly quick in galactic terms, leaving researchers to estimate that a monstrous effect billions of years back may have started Haumea's fast turn and, simultaneously, likewise made its two moons, Namaka and Hi'iaka. Haumea is named for the Hawaiian goddess of fruitfulness, her moons for the goddess legendary girls. Haumea has another element that separates it from its kin, rings. Researchers reported the revelation in 2017 subsequent to watching Haumea pass before a star, making it the primary known Kuiper belt object with rings. Other than that, However, Hami is somewhat of a secret. NASA's site concedes that next to no is known about the Bantam planet's environment and surface. It's generally a similar width as Pluto, and takes marginally more, 285 years, to circle the Sun. In any case, what is thought about Hami as of now recognizes it from its fellow dwarfs. Fact number 5, Makemake finishes what Eris started. Another pleased Kuiper belt occupant is Makemake, which likewise assumed a significant part in Pluto's removal from the Organization of Undeniable Planets. Quite a bit of this needs to do with timing. Like Eris, Makemake was found in mid-2005, and encouraged lead the IAU to reconsider its meaning of a planet. As referenced before, researchers at first, and wrongly, trusted Eris was bigger than Pluto, driving to its fleeting thought for full planet status. Sadly for them both, one of the components that settled this question was the revelation of Makemake only 2 months after Eris. Dissimilar to correlations among Eris and Pluto, no such size-related case could be made for the minuscule Makemake, which was unmistakably far more modest than both. With Makemake, researchers had an article that obviously wasn't adequately huge to be known as a planet. Furthermore, when it turned out to be evident that Pluto acted more like Makemake than, state, Mars, the issue at hand was obvious to everyone. There were currently 3 little planet-esque articles in generally a similar spot, the Kuiper belt, acting essentially. This drove straightforwardly to the statement, endorsed in 2006, that lone items that unmistakable its neighborhood through gravitational predominance can be called full planets. None of the 3 met this standards. Eris' application for planethood was denied, and Pluto lost its position altogether. Thanks a lot, Makemake. Fact number 4, make way for Makemake. Obviously, Makemake is in excess of a boss foil for wannabe planets. Makemake surpasses its more huge kin Eris as the second most splendid item in the Kuiper belt, just Pluto is more brilliant. Furthermore, in spite of taking 305 Earth a long time to circle the Sun, a day on Makemake keeps going around 22.5 hours, very like days for us Earthlings and our nearest heavenly neighbor, Mars. Admirably well tell from so incredible a distance, Makemake is some 6,847,000,000 kilometers from the Sun, which is only 150 million kilometers away from us, a heavenly stone's toss. The planetoid is rosy earthy in shading, similar to Pluto. Its surface seems, by all accounts, to be abounding with ethane, just as huge pellets of frozen methane. Makemake likewise has a minuscule moon. Formally named S/2015, 136,472, 1 and kindly nicknamed MK2, the satellite's range is assessed to be only 80 kilometers. For the record, the nearby planetary group's littlest moon is Deimos, one of Mars' 2 moons, whose distance across measures just 11 kilometers. MK2 is around 1,300 times fainter than Makemake, so hard to detect that NASA actually considers it a temporary moon. At long last, Makemake got its exceptionally odd name in odd design. For reasons unknown, its pioneer nicknamed his discovering Easter Bunny. When the time had come to give the smaller person an appropriate name, after a deity like its heavenly kin, they picked Makemake, the maker lord of the Rapa Nui individuals of, you gotten it, Easter Island. Fact number 3, Pluto was just waiting to be picked off. At last we come to Pluto, the little planet that could, NT. Notwithstanding getting a charge out of 3/4 of a century as an undeniable planet, Pluto was matter-of-factly booted from the large fellowship on account of the joined endeavors of Eris and Makemake, as clarified previously. Everything began so well for the little person. Pluto was found in February 1930 by American stargazer Clyde William Tombaugh, the climax of long stretches of expectations by individual researchers of a 10th planet's presumable presence. Pluto at that point turned into the solitary planet named by a 11-year-old young lady, when Venetia Burney of Oxford, England said the new disclosure ought to be named for the Roman lord of the hidden world. Consequently, Pluto's 5 moons additionally were named for figures related with Pluto. Its biggest satellite, Charon, respects the river Styx boatsman who ships new spirits to the hidden world. Be that as it may, here's the rub: researchers discovered Pluto under one-sided misrepresentations. They were effectively looking for a 10th planet, and were all around very glad to give this title to their cherished finding. This, regardless of Pluto being only 2,250 kilometers wide, roughly a large portion of the width of the United States. Charon further confounded issues. When it was found in 1978, it before long turned out to be certain that Pluto's biggest moon was completely half as huge as the then planet itself. The hazardous outcome was that their genuinely equivalent gravitational powers made the two circle each other like a twofold planetary framework. That is not a moon, it's an accomplice. So truly, Pluto was simply holding on to get culled off the planet list for quite a long time. Eris could have been the 10th planet for a very long time had it been discovered first. Fact number 2, still, Pluto is the least dwarfy dwarf, in spite of not matching any semblance of Neptune, Uranus, or Mercury, or even 7 of the full planet's moons, including our own. Pluto is as yet a champion in its classification. First of all, Pluto is the biggest Earth, a qualification briefly relinquished to Eris, at that point recovered once stargazers acknowledged Eris wasn't as large as at first suspected. Pluto is additionally by a long shot the most brilliant in its group, surpassing second place Makemake. It additionally goes along an offbeat, distinguishingly slanted circle. On occasion during its 248 Earth-year venture around the Sun, Pluto is in reality a lot nearer to its star than Neptune, the farthest planet legitimate. We likewise have undeniably more data about Pluto than different smaller people. This is on the grounds that in January 2006, 7 months before Pluto authoritatively lost its status as an undeniable planet, NASA's New Horizons shuttle set out to investigate the removed world. The rocket arrived at Pluto in July 2015 and, among different revelations, discovered mountains made of ice that may drift on a layer of nitrogen ice. New Horizons additionally directed its concentration toward Pluto's biggest moon, Charon, where it saw a North Pole covered with ruddy material that probably gotten away from Pluto's hit or miss climate that structures and breaks up contingent upon the planetoid's separation from the Sun. Fact number 1, a distant dwarf. In 2003, 3 years before Pluto got downgraded to the planetary junior varsity squad, a triplet of specialists found what at the time was the coldest, most inaccessible known item in the closed planetary system. To pay tribute to its coldness, researchers accept the temperature there never transcends, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. They named their discovering Sedna, after the Inuit goddess of the ocean who, legend has it, abides in the profundities of the Arctic Ocean. Well past the Kuiper belt that 4 of the 5 Bantam planets call home, Sedna is so distant that it's scarcely in the closed planetary system, exactly 130 billion kilometers away. For the well-being of setting, the Sun is a simple 146 million kilometers from Earth. Following an odd curved circle, it takes Sedna around 10,500 Earth a long time to circle the Sun. That is marvelously long. Not all that faltering, notwithstanding, is Sedna's size, which is assessed at between 1,300 to 1,770 kilometers in distance across, about 75% that of Pluto. All things considered, as Bantam planets go, that is not disqualifyingly little. So the lone explanation Sedna hasn't become the 6th midget is something many refer to as hydrostatic harmony, a settling balance of power squeezing both upwards and downwards. Sedna is excessively far away for this to be estimated utilizing current innovation, so until further notice it's stuck at minor planet status, which appears to be absolutely unjustifiable in my logical assessment. Penalizing Sedna for our technological shortcomings is typical Earthling arrogance. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. We will be back soon with another amazing topic. Stay with us for more amazing contest.